Friends, we gather today to celebrate and remember our dear friend Atticus Finch. Now I invite to the podium Calpurnia, a longtime friend of Atticus and cook for the Finch family.
Atticus Finch was a great man, but before that, he was a good man, which can sometimes be a more challenging reputation to earn. Everyone gathered here today knows how incredible he was, and it is now our duty to make sure everyone else knows it. Atticus was a soldier of justice, equality, and love in both the courtroom, where he ruled as Macomb's best defense attorney, and in his everyday life, raising his children, Jem and Scout. Atticus believed there was good in every person, regardless of their background, the color of their skin, or their attitude toward him. He always put the needs of others before his own, and gave proper courtesy and respect to everyone. Atticus raised his children in a good and righteous way, and I have never met two people so upstanding, kind, and considerate as those kids. He taught them to respect and love. I once remember him saying, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around it." Atticus was never proud or vain. Back in the 30s, Mr. Johnson's dog, Tim, caught rabies. Atticus, once the deadest shot in Macomb County, was elected to be the one to shoot him down. Afterward, the children were so shocked at their dad, thinking, how could he be able to do that and never let us know? The reason they never knew was Atticus's humbleness. In the courtroom, his place of work, Atticus overcame prejudices and treated each and every person to walk into that room exactly the same. Despite having lived in the South his whole life, Atticus was completely colorblind. I'm sure we all, with the possible exception of a few, remember the Tom Robinson case. Atticus made every person in Macomb reflect on their prejudices and taught us all a lesson we'll never forget. While what he taught was vitally important, we should also focus on what he didn't teach: racism, self-doubt, and hate. Atticus Finch passed too early, and I'm asking you to do not only me, but him, a favor, and be grateful for all the blessings that exist in your life today.
Now I would like to introduce Alexandra Hancock, Atticus' sister.
My brother Atticus was one of the best men I knew. He always gave everyone the respect they deserved and never tried to make anyone be someone they weren't. A day spent with my brother was never a day wasted, and never will a day go by that I don't think of him.
My father was one of the best men I ever knew. He always treated Jem and I with the same respect as adults when we were growing up, and he let me wear pants and play with the boys long after my aunt had begun insisting I act like a proper lady. I owe everything I am to Atticus, and when I think back upon my childhood, there is not a single hour I would have him do differently.
Atticus' son Jeremy.
Atticus Finch was a great man, but today we're not here to mourn his death. We're here to remember his life. There's so many things that he could be considered. He was a lawyer, a neighbor, a good friend, and a loving father. There are other things that he also did in his life that I should also talk about. In 1933, he defended Tom Robinson in the infamous Robinson-Eulogy case, and although he lost that case, unfortunately, he considered it a small victory, nevertheless. He was also chosen to kill Mr. Johnson's rabies-infested dog after being considered one of the greatest crack shots Macomb has ever seen. He taught me in Scout also a very important lesson: never to judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Atticus was always good to me. I knew him when I was a boy and played with his children every summer when I was staying with my Aunt Rachel in Macomb. He was kind and gentle to me, no matter how many times I pushed his patience by trying to solve the mystery of Boo Radley's life. In the time I spent with Atticus, he never once talked down to me or lied to keep us in the dark. He treated everyone he met with respect, no matter their age, race, gender, or anything else. He was a great man, and his death is a horrible loss that I feel deeply.
I'd like to thank you all for being here today in celebration of the life of Atticus Finch.
Thank you guys for coming today.
Thank you guys so
means
much.
a lot to us, means a lot to Atticus. God rest your soul.
My name is Scout Harris. I'm 23 years old. I'm married to Dill Harris. We are gathered here today because my father, Atticus Finch, passed away last night. He was 64 years old. He lived a great life. He was a great man. Gathered today to pay their respects and give eulogies are my brother Jem, my Aunt Alexandria, our maid Calpurnia, my husband Dill, and myself. In the congregation are some people who he has touched over his life, in his career, and just in general.